Hello everyone, welcome back. Since a lot of you showed a lot of love to this cushion that I had shown you, so let me show you how to actually make one for yourself. So this, what you're seeing is made for a 16-inch cushion. However, today I will be showing you how to make one for a 12-inch cushion, the square cushion. And if you want to see how to make it for 16-inch or how to adapt it, you can always check the description below for the link for the pattern. So before I get into that, let me tell you what are the requirements to do this. So what we will require is we will require a weight for the medium yarn. So what I am choosing here is one is Ganga Desire, which is available in India. It's a medium weight yarn, acrylic 100%. Along with this I'm using as a contrasting color. Along with this, I'm using all the scrap yarns of another yarn by Ganga Acro Wools, that is Rangoli Art. So this is a self-stripping yarn. So even this was a self-stripping Ganga Rangoli art. You can see how it changes itself and hence gives a very beautiful look to the cushion. And I am planning to do the same thing for this. Just that it is going to have more of blue and greens, while this had more of pink and oranges. So let's get started. So what we will need is we will need a 7 mm Tunisian hook. You can use a long hook as well, a straight long hook, or you can use something like this where you have the hook interchangeable and a cable. I've used the smaller cable that I can attach to it. And if you want to check the swatch, you can always check. It is 13 stitches into 12 rows, making it 4 into 4 square in Tunisian simple stitch. Now, what is Tunisian simple stitch? If you do not know, you can check the other video tutorials. Otherwise, you can see I will show it in the further steps when I'm doing it. So, for a 12-inch square cushion, what we will need to do is we need to do 41 chains. So, I have made the slip stitch knot, and yeah, I'm putting my hook here. And now I'm going to chain 41. So, let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. And now what we do is we will pick up a loop from the back bump. This is the back bump, if you can see. This is the black yarn. I am not sure if you can make out. So if you see here you have the two of these, the lower bars, and you have the backside bump. Now you can make out. So I'm entering into that, and we will start this from the second chain. This is the first chain which we are going to be let it as it is, and we will go from the second chain back bump onwards. So you will be picking up 40 loops, and the first loop that was there, that is also considered as a stitch. So this was the first one. So this is starting from the second chain onwards. So we are going to pick up the back from the back bump. We are picking up a loop from each of the back bump of the chain. Now you may ask, why are we going into the back bump, and why can't we just pick up a loop, whether it is back bump or the side loop, whatever it is. Now the problem, if you do a just remove it, get a loop from this side, is it is going to elongate this, and this is going to become shorter and tough. And this in turn, what it makes is the edge, the lower edge, the starting edge, the foundation edge is going to be wonky. It is not going to be a neater one. However, if you use this back bump method, it is going to have a neater edge, as you can see here, foundation edge. So I'm looking for a neater foundation edge here, and this is my go-to always. Now those who are a little advanced in Tunisian crochet, what you can do is You can even try something like how we do for knitting. You can do a long tail cast on. The only suggestion that I would like to give is, if this pattern is recommending 7 mm hook, please do it using a higher numbered hook, that is a 8 mm at least. And what you can do is, once you have casted on 41, you can actually pull up the cable and change the hook back to 7 mm, so that your written pass starts with the recommended hook itself. So that is one way. If you do not like to pull up a loop from the back bump, and you know how to cast on, you can actually check the knitting cast on. It is very similar to the knitting cast ons, except that you're using the hook and not the needle. That's it. That's the difference. And yeah, as I said, I would recommend a larger hook for that, so that when you are actually doing the further stitches, you won't find it very tight to pull up a loop. So now we are actually at the almost end. So you can see that we are, yeah, nearing two more stitches. Now this back bump, once you get used to it, it's gonna be very easy, especially with this thicker yarns. Yeah, I do agree that I do find it tough when it is thinner yarn. And also I have, you can see this is because I have done the central pull method, and hence we are having a lot of yarn that has come from the center. Now that we have finished pulling up a loop from each of these chain, you have 41 loops. So now we'll do the return pass. Return pass is the standard return pass. So you can do initial, you will pull up through single loop, and then onwards through two loops. Pull through two loops until the end. So this is how we are going to do the foundation row. Now I am not going to label this as row 1. So remember, when we are giving the total count, I am not counting this row. This is the foundation row, which will be kept as it is without any number in this pattern. So once we reach the end, that is after pulling through the 41 stitches that we have, whatever remains will be your first stitch. There is nothing called it won't just empty and you can't put into the first stitch. Remember that Tunisian crochet is such that when you end, you will always have one loop on your hook, and this will serve as the first stitch of the next round. So now what we are going to do is, we are going into the, we are ignoring this first one. As I said, it is this loop is directly above this, so this is the first stitch, so we are not going to touch this first stitch of the previous round. So we are going to go from the second stitch onwards. Now we are going to do the Tunisian simple stitch. So what you do is, you go from the right to the left in front of the vertical bar and pull up a loop. That's it. That is simple stitch. So the name itself tells it's very simple. So yes, you are going to do the Tunisian simple stitch throughout. Okay, so this is a Tunisian simple stitch. So we are doing this. So this is going to be our round 1. So you can see that you go in from the front, behind the front bar, you're going to go from right to left and pull up a loop throughout. Okay, so yes, so be careful if you're using interchangeable cable. You may have it getting knotted. Be careful. You can hold the end of that cable in your hand between the fingers to avoid the sound as well as the effect of gravity. I would like it this way. I don't mind the sound. You will have it serves as an indicator that I am still working and not sleeping. Okay, so yes. And remember, when you're going to the edge stitch here, the end one, ES, what you will see in my patterns. So you're going through both these vertical bar in between behind those two and pull up a loop. Okay, this will give you a neater edge here. Then we do the standard return pass, pull through one loop and then start pulling through two loops. So that is how it's gonna be. So now the pointers, now once we come to the end of written pass end of this row, now we need to make a change over to the next color, that is the main color. Now why I say that as the main color is we have more number of stripes using that color, so that is the main color and this is the contrasting color. So we have started with the contrasting color and then we'll go ahead with the main color, changing it after the row 1. We have done foundation row, then we have row 1, and at the end of row 1, this is how I would suggest you do the change in color for most of my pattern, unless it is written that you have to change it at the end of the forward pass. So I always recommend changing over at the end of the written pass. So now I am taking this, okay, and what we'll do is, let me take out few rows, yeah, and then I leave a little thread there behind yarn and pull through these two. And to make sure that I secure it, I just tie a single knot there so that my first stitch is not going to be too loose. Okay, yeah, that's it. Now comes the row 2 and 3, which is going to be just the simple stitches. You don't have to do anything. Okay, now for the purpose of the video, let me hold this here, and yeah, you won't have the sound. So I am just pulling up the loop here. This is nothing but the Tunisian simple stitch. So we have row 2 and 3, that is in the main color, that we are going to do in Tunisian simple stitch. So Tunisian simple stitch, we have few more stitches here. Okay, this is my way of keeping the yarn on the left hand. So I usually wind it around my index finger. So you do the method that suits you better. So as long as you are maintaining the uniform tension, then we do the standard written pass. The entire pattern has the standard written pass, so there is no change. So every forward pass in this pattern will be followed by a written pass, except for the bind off row. Okay, I will show what do we do for the bind off at the end. So row 2 is done. Excuse me for my cold. It's been the weather has been unpredictable here, with some days being rainy and some days being extremely sunny. So once that is done, another next row, row 3, is again the Tunisian simple stitch. So we are going to do the Tunisian simple stitch. So let's go on. So once you do the Tunisian simple stitch, forward pass of this, again it is going to be, as I said, the standard written pass. When we talk of written pass, unless it is mentioned, it's a standard written pass. Pull through one loop, or what is also called as chain one there. So you may find differences in the way many of us write, even though it has Tunisian crochet. So please look into the abbreviations that we write, so you know what we mean. Some of them will consider the first and the edge stitch in their pattern, while we some of us do mention that it's the first stitch and the edge stitch. Now let me also tell that I am not considering the first and the last stitch in the pattern per se here. There are something like the selvage stitch of the knitting, where that goes into seaming. So my counts, the number of stitches that I have counted, that does not include the first and the edge stitch for the pattern per se. So once we finish, we are at the end of this written pass. Again, we change over to the contrasting color. So we will be having 2 rows of main color, followed by 1 row of contrasting color. That is how it is going to go. 2 rows of main color and 1 row of contrasting color. So we'll be using one color at a time. So you don't have to worry about those interlocked lines that are coming in between. Everything is done. So now it's time for us to change over to the contrasting color. So let me change over to the, you can see here. So I'm going to change over. So I'm making sure that I'm having my contrasting color on the right side and the main color on the left, so that they don't cross over and tangle with each other. So with this, yeah. Now the pattern starts. So what I'm going to do is, using this contrasting color, I'm going to do 3 TSS. So 3 TSS, and then I have one extended Tunisian double crochet. So I have a loop yarn over here like this, and then go 3 rows below where it is again black, and then do a front post DC like thing. I pull up a loop like this. Now if it was just DC, we would have pulled through 2. No, I'm going to pull through 1 loop initially and then pull through 2 loops. Okay, so this is how it is gonna look. So we'll go ahead again. We do 3 TSS. So now how do we do the extended Tunisian double crochet? Yarn over like this, go 3 rows below, do a front posting, pull up a loop, pull through 1 loop, and then pull through 2 loops. Again, you're going to do 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then extended Tunisian double crochet. Okay, so we are going to do this until we are left with 4 stitches, or the 4 stitches at the end. So it will come up to doing 9 such repeats for this cushion. That is a 12-inch cushion. So yes, again extended Tunisian double crochet, then 1, 2. I'm calling it extended because we are extending, it's a Tunisian double crochet, but we are extending it a little longer, like how we would do extended SC. So it is similar to that in your regular crochet. You're going to do chain 1. So this is something like a chain 1. Okay, chain 1 and pull through 2. So yes, 1, 2, 3, and then again one. Last, when we are left with, one second, yeah, we are left with 4 stitches. Please be careful. Once you do extended Tunisian crochet, the stitch here that was behind this is going to be left unworked, okay, of this current row. So when you're doing, this is the row 4 that we are doing. So the stitch behind this extended Tunisian DC on row 3 is going to be unworked. So we are left with 4 stitches at the end. So what we do is we just do 3 TSS and then do the edge stitch. So we are ending it that way. Okay. So again, I told you we have all standard written bars. So we are doing the standard written bars. So let me hold this. Yeah. So yes, you can see standard written bars being made. Okay. So once we reach the end of this row, as I said, it's 2 rows of main color and 1 row of contrasting color. So we will be finishing our 1 row of contrasting color. So we will pick up the main color at the end of this written pass. So once we are at the end, yeah, now we have 2 loops at the end. So now we are going to pull up the main color. Like I said, I am keeping the 2 colors separate so that they don't tangle. This is my way of working. I do not like it tangle because then I waste a lot of time untangling or detangling them. Okay, so once that is done, again we do only 2 rows of TSS. Okay, there is no DC coming here. DC is done only when we have the contrasting color. Otherwise, we have only Tunisian simple stitches that we are gonna consider. So we are going to consider the Tunisian simple stitch for next 2 rows. So we can meet at the end of the 2 rows of TSS. So this will be row 5 and row 6 of simple Tunisian stitch, or rather Tunisian simple stitch. So we will meet at the end of that. Okay, now we are at the end of row 6. So we are changing over to the contrasting color. Okay, now there's a little change. Okay, it was 3 TSS followed by 1 extended DC in the previous contrasting color row. Now here what we do is we do 1 TSS followed by extended Tunisian double crochet, and then again we have 2 TSS. So we do 1 TSS, then we have 1 extended Tunisian double crochet, and then we have 2 um, Tunisian simple stitches. So we are gonna do this continuously till the end. So 1 TSS with 1 extended double crochet, 2 TSS, 1 TSS, 1 extended Tunisian double crochet, and 2 TSS. So if you are getting confused, just look at this. So we have 3 TSS here. So this double crochet has to come at the the middle Tunisian simple stitch here. Okay, so on either side you will have the double crochet of the previous repeat. So this is gonna come exactly at the center. So that is one way of actually doing it. If you are getting confused, make sure you are doing a double crochet at the central Tunisian simple stitch. So if you want to be mindlessly doing it, you can do it that way. If you're not good with the numbers or it's very confusing, yeah, just note that you have to come to the central TSS and yes, take it. So we are nearing the end. So at the end, what happens is, see, okay, so this was, see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 extended Tunisian double crochet is already done. So we are going to do, this was the end of that repeat, that is 1 TSS, 1 extended Tunisian double crochet, and 2 TSS. Now we are again left with 4 stitches. So what we do is 1 TSS, 1 extended Tunisian double crochet, and instead of 2 TSS we do only 1 TSS and a edge stitch. Okay, this is how it's gonna be. So again, a standard written pass with changeover to the main color at the end of the written pass when you have just 2 loops on the hook. Make sure you don't pull through 3 loops when you are doing this written pass. Sometimes with the speed that we try to pull it, trying to finish it off faster, we might end up pulling through 3. What happens is it serves like a decrease when you do that. So please be careful when you are actually doing it. Okay, so be careful. Also, if you have not noticed, the forward pass determines the height of your stitch and the written pass determines the width of your stitch. So if you're having a problem achieving the gauge in Tunisian crochet, you need to look at how you're actually doing your forward pass and written pass depending upon what you want to change. So we're changing over to the main color. Now again, it is the same 2 rows of Tunisian simple stitch. So we will do 2 rows of Tunisian simple stitch. So if you do not want to use a self-stripping yarn, you can also use, if you're having multiple scrap yarns of different colors, but make sure they're of same weight. So what you can do is you can change the color at the end of the written pass, wherever it is. When there is a main color, you can change it. You can change it every 2 rows. So you can make one green, one blue, next pink, depending upon how your yarn starch works for you. It is not necessary that you use a self-stripping yarn. You can make it a colorful by actually attaching different yarns at the end of each of the contrasting rows. So I would suggest use the same color for these 2 rows so that they are not very distracting. Otherwise, they may look distracting. So you can, we will continue with one more row of similar Tunisian simple stitch. So this is row 8. So row 8 and 9 are going to be Tunisian simple stitch in the main color. So it is just until you get a hang of it that you can actually pull it and navigate, and it is sort of a repetitive one. So the written pass is always relaxing one because most often there is no change unless you are decreasing it or you're doing some sort of a lace Tunisian crochet, because many of the lace Tunisian stitches create the lace pattern in the written pass. So only then you need to change and count your written pass, because there may be instruction as to pass through 4 together, etc. Otherwise it is the standard pass through 1 initially and then pull through 2 till the end. So that is a very relaxing one for me. So yes, we are at the end of the forward pass of this second simple Tunisian row. So be careful when you're putting. You need to put through these two. Yeah. So for those who are asking how are we getting a neater edge here, so it is by practice and by going through both vertical stitches on the edge stitch. Okay, so you will require some amount of practice before you get it exactly straight and neat. So don't worry. So once you are at the end of this written pass, like before, we are going to change to the contrasting color. Okay, now this is what I said, be careful, don't pull through all the 3. And now we change. Now we are going to repeat what we did for row 4. So it will be TSS 3 times followed by 1 extended Tunisian crochet until we are left with 4 stitches at the end. That will be 9 times this repeat in total. So yeah, so we are doing 3 TSS and 1 Tunisian extended double crochet. So I am loving the set of cushions that I'm getting by using rather stash busting these scrap yarns that I had. These yarns were the leftovers from various projects, including beanies, tops, etc. So I was wondering what to do, and yes, this is one of the beautiful way to use them up and actually spice up your rooms, either the bedroom, the porch, whatever it is, wherever you want to place the cushion, you can make it entirely colorful or spooky, depending upon your occasion. So you can just choose the right colors and get the result. So now we are almost at the end. Yeah, we are left with 4 stitches, but make sure you are not see, if I pull through this, then I will have 5 stitches. So remember, the stitch of the previous row behind this extended Tunisian double crochet is always not worked. Okay, it is unworked, and we have 3 TSS at the end followed by a edge stitch. Then this is going to have a standard return pass. Okay, so this is how it's going to go. So at the end of the return pass of this contrasting color, we are going to change over to the main color again. So please note that I am not cutting the yarns at the end of each changeover. I am just pulling through at the edge. So you need not cut your yarn if you are using a self-stripping yarn. In fact, if you're using contrasting two, I mean main colors, so you can use main color 1 here and main color 2 here and pull through those yarns here, but make sure that you interlock with the contrasting color uh, in the in between. Okay, so that they don't form a long loop. That's it. So now again we are having two rows, the 11th and 12th row being simple Tunisian simple stitch throughout in the main color. So I will meet you at the end of these 2 rows. Okay, we are now at the end of 2 rows of these 11 and 12. So the 13th row is in the contrasting color. So let us take it. And now this is a repeat of row 7. So what we do is we do 1 TSS and 1 extended Tunisian double crochet, and then we have 2 TSS. So 1 TSS, 1 extended Tunisian double crochet, and then we have 2 TSS. Repeat this for 9 times total. So that is what we are going to do till the end, and then we are left with 4 stitches at the end. So we'll come to that. So be careful with the yarn tangling when you're using multiple colors. Make sure you keep them separate and they don't cross over, so that you don't have extra work detangling them. So we are done here almost. So you can see so we are going to be left with the so we are left with the last 4 stitches. So you have 1 TSS, 1 extended Tunisian double crochet, and another simple stitch, and then the edge stitch. So now you will have to repeat these. So we had this as the foundation row, which I'm not counting as I said. So this is the row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you will repeat from row 2 to row 7 until you reach row number 73. So now let me show you my larger version where I have already worked it up. Though the count numbers are different and the row numbers are different, this is how your how it would look if you had reached the row 73 of the smaller version. So this will be your row 73 if this was your smaller version. So yes, we are going to do the standard written pass for this. Now I will show you how to end the project. So again, I am just doing the Tunisian standard written pass here. So yeah, pull through one initially and pull through two till you reach the end. So once you reach the end, now this was the row 73 of your 12-inch cushion square. So once that is reached, what we are going to do is we are going to cut off the main color. We don't require the main color anymore. We are going to deal with only the contrasting color anymore. So you can cut off. See, I have cut off the main color. I have left a little significant length so that I can weave in the ends later. So yes, so we can see here we are done with this. Yes, once be careful while in hurry, don't pull through 3 as I said. So now at the end, 73 is done. So the next row will be another Tunisian simple stitch but for contrasting color. Okay, so we are going to do that. TSS in the contrasting color. So this is an amazing stash buster project. You can use up whatever yarns you have and make beautiful pillow covers. They are squishy because they are weight 4 yarns and they do not have lace design, so it is not going to be airy, it's going to be cozy. Yes, you are going to love. And let me tell you, baby E loves all of these. So every time I end up making one, he's gonna hold it, tell that it's his pillow. And right now he has 3 pillows, which he loves to have because these designs are there. He loves this design so much. One, because maybe it's very colorful for him. The contrasting colors with multiple colors make his eyes lit up. So you can try that too, and it's also a way that we introduce multiple colors to him. So it has been a nice experience, nice stash busting for me, and nice experience for him. So once we have row 74 as Tunisian simple stitch row, now we are going to change the stitches. Okay, now we are going to do another basic Tunisian stitch at the end once we end this row 74. So we have ended. Remember the counts because that will dictate whether your cushion cover will fit your cushion. So simple Tunisian stitch in the contrasting color. Yeah, we are ending it here. So once we finish this written pass, next 2 rows are going to be Tunisian pearl stitch. Now how do we do this? We bring the yarn front, okay, front of the hook, and then do the same thing as we would have done to the Tunisian simple stitch and pull up the loop. Only difference is you bring the yarn in front of the hook and then pull up a loop. Front, then go from right to left and pull up a loop. So you can see here, I'm not sure if you can make out since it's very black here, it will form a, the how you would have had in the knitting pearl thing, you will have the ridges coming. So front and then to the Tunisian simple stitch like thing. So this is nothing but the Tunisian pearl stitch, very simple. Just make sure. So what I do is I just pull it with the hook, see like this, and then go into the next stitch. So it's very easy for me to just pull. Okay, so we are going to do two rows of Tunisian simple stitch. I will tell you why we are shifting over from Tunisian simple stitch to Tunisian pearl stitch at the end. You might be wondering, it was all simple till now, and now I have bought this Tunisian pearl stitch because you have to bring the yarn in the front. Some of you might find it very difficult in the beginning. So there is a reason for it. So let me show you once we finish these two rows of Tunisian pearl stitch. So till the end you're gonna do this. Okay, we have now this is a larger version, so we have more number of stitches to cover. So don't go by this. I'm trying to show you the end point, how to finish off your project. I will show you the 12-inch how it turns up to, but yeah, for the tutorial purpose, let's see this. So we have more number of stitches. So we have two rows of. So let me see you once I come near the edge stitch. So now we are ending the pearl stitch forward pass. Now remember, when you come to the edge stitch, you are not going to get it front. You are just going to pass through the edge. Okay, that is the standard edge stitch. You are not going to bring the yarn front and do anything. Then the return pass standard. So I will meet you at the end of two rows of TPS, and then I will show you how to go ahead with this. Now we have finished our two rows of TPS. So now we are going to end in TPS. So what you do is bind off is do like TPS, but you pull through both. Okay, so pull through and then pull this through the other loop. So this is how we are going to do TPS bind off. Okay, so we are going to do this, and that ends the panel, and all we have to do is the finishing once we finish off this row. So we are finishing the bind off in TPS. So this is the edge stitch. Again, go through both loops and then bring it. And I do a chain one at the end. And then we are going to cut off the yarn. So we have finished the panel. This is a longer panel, as I said. So I will show you how to join this to make a cushion cover. This is the wrong side. It is beautiful as well, and this is the right side. So what we do is we will face the right side, and what we'll do is we will bring this foundation row next to the row 71. Okay, of your row 71, and you can put a stitch marker there. Okay, so we will fix it there on either side. Okay, so row 71 to row foundation row. Okay, done. So on both sides I'm doing the same thing. So I'm going to put my stitch marker so that I know where how much of seaming is to be done, or the seaming. Now there are two ways by which you could join these edges. So you can do the regular crochet. You can do SLST going through both of these edges and doing it. So the only thing is you may get if you see here, let me show you this. This was done. You can see some irregularities while doing that if you're using the crochet. So what I usually prefer is a mattress stitch, but if you are not into seaming using the needle, yes, please go ahead and do the crochet SLST. It works very well. There is no issue with it. It's just the amount of preference that you are wanting to give it. Okay, so let's do that. So you can come either from this end or this end. So let me start from here. So I always prefer to tie up my end before starting my seaming. So that's a habit I have got, so that I don't, so many times it so happened in the initial days that I just pull it and the ends are out. So what we do is, I know that this is going to go into this colored one. After that, it is going to go with the pattern. Okay. So remember, only the first stitch is where you have a little change of color. After the stitch, remember, you have opposing this thing. So we are going to do the mattress stitch here. So I'm going to take this stitch and this stitch, and I am going to sew both sides. So you can do the seaming you know by the method of your choice. So you don't have to follow the exact same thing. It only is what you would love to do. Okay, so at the end you should be happy and enjoying the process rather than just doing it. So yeah, let's say that. So I am doing the seaming. So let me come back once we have finished seaming on both the sides. I will show you how it looks. Okay, I'm done with seaming the sides on both sides, and now I will be, this is me weaving it in, weaving the ends a little. uh, I will not be weaving in everything. Okay, let me show you. So yeah, so it's done. So yeah, that's this is how it is gonna be. So you can see. Now, since we had left a little more space, so this will work as a cover like this. Now, I had told you that uh, I have done two rows of TPS. The reason is, see, if you see here, they work as the buttonholes. Okay, so to show that, what you can do is, I will show it in this. I fitted in my 16-inch pillow into this cover which I had made, and then I checked where to place my button. So it was around the row 5 and 6, and see, this is the TPS row, so which will just fit in like a buttonhole. So you do that and you have your cushion cover ready and colorful. So I, this is the other 16-inch one which I'm making, so you can see how colorful it can be. So you can actually, if you're not interested in doing the mattress seaming, yeah, please go ahead with the crochet seaming. I'm happy with that too. So this is how it was. This is the back cover, and this is the front cover. Remember, your initial rows will be the back side of the cushion cover, and the later rows are going to be the front cover. So if you want to decide on the colors, please know that. And yes, you will see the final 12 into 12 inch cushion cover soon too. Let me finish this and show you. Meanwhile, you can follow the tutorial, whatever was told. As I've already told you that you will do up to 73 rows and then continue as described previously, and then you will have your cushion cover ready. If you like this video, do give a like, and yes, please press the subscriber button. And okay, at the end, this was my second sample, which I showed you in the beginning. Now let's see how the 12-inch turned out. Okay, this cute little pillow, you can use it, the cushion cover, you can use it as a car pillow, or for that matter, anything as a support when you're crocheting also. And I have one more made for 16 into 16 square pillow. You can actually do multiple like this and decorate your whole living space with it. Colorful, beautiful, don't you think? Okay, give it a try and let me know. And once you do it, you can share it on Instagram with the hashtag interlocked and hashtag fiber art house designs. And do comment in what else do you think I should make free tutorial of. If you like this video, like it, subscribe it, and share it.